the Jamaica Inn. This world-famous smuggler's haunt was built on the desolate Bodmin Moor in Cornwall, England in 1776. It has seen many changes in its 250 years and now has the reputation as one of the most haunted inns in England. Thunder cracks a short distance away, then rumbles closer across the inky sky, climaxing in a boom as it passes overhead. The relentless rain pours heavily onto the sun-baked moor, spilling into deep cracks in the dry ground and puddling in places where there is no escape. The night remains humid, filled with the strong smell of petrichor as the dust saturates. The deafening downpour drowns out all other sound, what little there is besides that coming from the inn before you. Candles burning low flicker dimly in the windows, spilling wax which pools and sets across the stone sills with no regard. People know that the inn is no desirable place to be, the company it keeps even less pleasant, and those who are passing through are hastily warned. The dark tales from within are discussed for miles around, whispered amongst the locals in hushed tones for fear of repercussions should the wrong finger come pointing. To commit to spending your time here is a brave choice, but with no option of an alternative for miles around, occasionally needs must. In daylight, there is nothing around but desolate moorland as far as the eye can see. Clumps of rough dry grass and slabs of grey dusty granite with little of much else. Heavy clouds had threatened the now torrential rain all day with no release, the sullen summer sky only emphasizing the bleak landscape. Bursts of heather do little to brighten the mood, and not a soul or a dwelling can be seen. The inn provides the perfect hideout for those seeking to evade notice. For those simply looking for refreshment, it would be wise to keep heads down and mouths shut. You don't see anything that goes on in the inn, and you certainly don't speak of it. Those are the unspoken rules. In darkness, you can see even less. No houses to ease the gloom, no lanterns to guide the way. The light of the moon is essential out here on the moor, but none exists on a night such as this, and travel becomes treacherous. The deceitful bogs fill blissfully back up into pools of doom, awaiting a disorientated traveller to take an ill-chosen step. Many a poor soul has met a sorry and often undiscovered end in this unforgiving terrain. Many a startled pony has stooped to drink, only to be met with the milky, lifeless eyes of the dead men on the moor. They have arrived in dribs and drabs throughout the afternoon, some by road and others across the moors, most by foot and a few on horses which are now sheltering in the stable. The usual band of local rogues are now slurping their ale and slurring their words. A night off means a busy and raucous bar, and on occasions when ships dock in Plymouth, the inn is frequented by many unknowns who visit without a care for the reputation. Tonight is such a night, and the inn is now considerably full. Silhouettes pass back and forth across the windows as drinks are fetched and men exit to relieve themselves. Someone approaches the inn. The nearing sound of hooves pounding on the hard ground, of which the rain is doing nothing to soften, cuts through the continuing downpour with a dull thud. A dark, drenched horse skids to a stop on the dirt with a grunt, its sopping mane running down its face, and it shakes its head in an attempt to relieve the irritation, to no avail. As the rider dismounts, his wet coat clings around his legs and he lands with a tangled splash. He tethers the horse and the rain pours from the folds in his tricorn hat like tiny waterfalls. The thunder continues to rumble. With a strong gait, he strides purposefully towards the front door in the porch, above which is the window of bedroom 3. The very same window that the fictional Mary Ellen of Daphne du Maurier's imaginings peers from as her rogue uncle, Jos Merlin, unloads smuggled goods in the courtyard on a night not dissimilar to this. The rider forcefully pushes the door inwards, banging it off the stone wall as he does so, and he vanishes from sight. As the door swings behind him, sounds from inside escape into the night. Raised male voices and laughter, as well as the sound of a wooden chair dragging across the stone floor before tipping to the ground with a crash, are met with cheers from inebriated men. The door closes on the outside world and the sounds are masked once more. A torrent of rain cascades from the roof onto the hind of the waiting steed. It prances from one side to the other, trying to escape whilst tethered to the hitching bar. For a while, all is quiet as it was before the most recent visitor arrived. The door swings open again, less violently than before, and the rider is now joined by a dark-haired man in a white shirt, black breeches, and long boots. He staggers slightly, suggestive of several hours' frequentation at the inn. He is missing his jacket, and within a matter of seconds his shirt becomes sodden and clings to his chest. He appears calm enough, and seems to walk amicably with the mysterious rider, not towards the disgruntled horse, but in the direction of the side of the inn and out of sight. Muffled voices are barely heard as the two men pass words back and forth. Straining to hear the conversation proves fruitless. The talk then ceases, and is followed by a sudden, ominous, dull thud, and then nothing. The rain pours and the horse shifts from hoof to hoof impatiently. Time passes and neither man reappears. The horse whinnies in protest, antagonized by the continuing torment of the rain. After a while the rider returns, as wet as ever before, but his boots now covered in mud. He mounts his steed and vanishes into the night as swiftly as he arrived. The thunder continues to rumble. From phantom pilgrims to spectral stagecoaches, the Jamaica Inn is home to many ghostly characters. My story was inspired by one such resident who has been seen for decades sitting on the wall outside the inn. Nicknamed Jack, he has been seen in and around the inn wearing a tricorn hat and a long cloak. It is said that he was lured from the inn one night and never seen again. No one knows who he was or what fate beheld him, but this story is my adaptation of the tale, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments if you have ever encountered Jack at the inn. Oh, and one last thing. He is known to interact with people, even physically at times. So take care.